AJ, what do you feel like we'll see in his first camp under Ben, Leigh, the team? What do you think we will see?
I think you will see AJ be more clear and decisive with what he's doing in there, because I feel like he will know what he needs to do. Whereas previous fights, he's probably had a bit of a, you should do this, but it's kind of a bit apprehensive, thinking, well, don't feel right, or I don't know, half guessing it, or not confident in what he's doing, but just doing it anyway. I know for this fight, he will be clear and decisive, knowing what he needs to do. And a lot of people say, AJ is probably looking more like his old self, and that will be because of these things that he's doing.
So what happens on December 23rd?
I'm without a shadow of a doubt, it's an AJ knockout.
And those are the words of Leigh Woods as he breaks down Anthony Joshua's training by the new trainer, Ben Davison. As you guys know, Ben Davison trains both Leigh and Anthony, okay? And of course, Leigh Woods was in one of the fights of the year with Conlon last year, which he knocked Conlon out of the ring, knocked him out cold, which was a very, very exciting fight. I remember watching that fight with my father. It was phenomenal, okay? Great fight. And Ben Davison has, made, quite a reputation for himself. And also, Leigh was breaking down the fluidity of AJ like you're going to expect to see a new AJ because of how comfortable he feels and how the punches are swaying and coming together with confidence. So that sounds great. That sounds good, and then the big bang at the end, hey, expect nothing, 100% short of a knockout. And let me counterpunch. Listen, I hope everything that Leigh Woods has observed is true. I hope he's accurate. I think that's a better thing to say, simply because Anthony Joshua in his last two fights, he has seemed like he was not sure of a lot of things. And we've seen it in the Franklin fight, and we've seen it in the Helenius fight. He was more aggressive in the Helenius fight, but Helenius was a lot taller, so he had to make his presence known. Okay, so it's a touch and go situation, but then, I like to also think that certain fighters and trainers get along better and they're able to communicate to do what they're supposed to do, and I have, though, not to sound skeptical, but I have seen times when we've heard promises from Derek James, from Robert Garcia, that you're going to hear and see and witness this new Anthony Joshua, this new aggressive style, this new way of defense and fight in the pocket. And we didn't really see that from AJ. We've seen a lot of tentative jabbing and then grabbing, a lot of unsure clinches. And those clinches come simply because he's not sure what he wants to do with the fighter. He doesn't trust his defense enough, to put his hands up, to slip, move, dodge, and what so have you. He has to hold in the process. So hopefully he's out of that process, and hopefully he's went somewhere with Ben Davison that Davison can take him, and that's took him or is getting him to that level. And I will say this, based on what Leigh Wood said, if it's going to look this good, why the hell would you go back to the States with Derek James and you look this good fighting someone that's right at your height, you're a little taller than, fast, southpaw, which, that's one of his challenging stances, coming from the Usyk fight. I know he did a good job against Charles Martin, but Usyk was by far the better fighter, much better fighter, as well as Arlene, but Arlene is a combination fighter also. So we will see how tentative AJ really is. We will see that. And if Ben Davison can get AJ that confidence, there's no need to go back to the USA to mess or to deal with Derek James. Because, see, this is what happens. People are always looking for excuses. If you're a fanatic or a fanboy or a biased person towards a particular fighter, which AJ does have a lot of fans, and he has, like everybody else does, fanboys. Okay, so the first thing they would say if we witness AJ knock out Otto Vailene by the instruction of Ben Davison, listening and gelling with everything that he possibly could pour into AJ to get him prepared for this fight, and he does exceptionally well. Then he turns around and goes back to Derrick James. Then he turns around and gets knocked out by Deontay Wilder. The first thing people are going to say is it's Derrick James' fault. They're going to blame him for leaving Ben Davison and going back to Derrick James. That's exactly what's going to happen, people. That's what happens all the time. People are not satisfied with a one punch, take you out at the same time type fight. And that's the type of fights that Deontay Wilder's accustomed to, because that's his pleasure. Okay? But no, I mean, it sounds great. I hope, again, Leigh Woods is accurate on what he sees. I mean, I know he's at a different time slot, I believe, but what he's able to see from AJ has looked bloody good. Okay? So, seeing what Ben Davison can do, acknowledged by Leigh Woods. Anthony Joshua's going to come out smoother, more confident, looking like the old AJ and ready to knock out Otto Vailene, definitely 100% by Leigh Woods. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!